Okay, so I have a firefighting game. It's local at the moment, so oh, hang on, I haven't to click on it. Sorry. So you can control both using one keyboard. You can't get over to the other person's side of the screen yet because obviously you have your own little sides. As you can see, it won't go any further. And if I go in this way, I can only get it here, which is just far enough to reach the edges of the map. So this is player 2 half here, and this is player 1 half. As you can see, they're perfectly identical, to keep it balanced. So like you've got the same amount of rooms, and it's random each time, and which ones are on fire is random, but whichever ones are on this side will be exactly the same on this side until you start putting them out. So obviously if I go ahead and put this one out, this one over here is still alight because this player hasn't actually put it out yet. So if I move that down, you can see there's no fire there anymore. And likewise, if I now put it out over here, and the longer you keep your water on them, the more the fire goes off until it goes out completely. So it's going to be like a race to see who can put the fires out fastest. And then the fires do grow back slowly over time, so if I make those two go really small, eventually they will grow back. And it's done at a really slow rate because eventually you get more and more taller buildings as you level through the game, and when the fire reaches its sort of maximum size, it will then start to spread to the nearby buildings. So obviously you don't want it to grow really huge really fast because then it's going to be impossible to do the later levels because there'll be so many fires to put out. So as you can see, these fires are now back to full strength again. So if I go ahead and put them back out, I'll win the game. There we go. And then I can just click and it will start over again. But I can also advance the levels. So as you can see, the buildings grow up and up. And like I say, it's going to be random. So you won't, at the top, it'll just be like a random number at the top layer of them each time until you get right to the top. And that's as high as it will go now. So this is the last level for this game. But like I say, at the top it might be a full row of buildings at the top, or it might just be one. It's random, so sometimes you'll get an easier last level, sometimes you get a harder one. It's not really important, that part. What's important is that they're identical and it's always going to be the same challenge for both players. And so as you can see, there are a lot of fires now, and they don't spread yet because I haven't added that bit, but that will be the next part. So as you can see, if I go to the side of these fires here, it's not touching, so they don't go out. And if I go across, it only puts out the top one because it's the end of your water stream that you'll be watching. So if I go along here, it will hit the bottom one, but if I go along top, it hits this one. And if I go above the fires, it doesn't do anything. As you can see, the fires underneath are unaffected until I start to actually focus the end of my beam onto them. And yeah, like I say, if you don't put the fire out completely, it will start to come back. But the bonus is that you can then spend less time putting the fires out, and you can actually start like making the other ones smaller so that they won't spread. Because obviously there are a lot of fires now, so you can't really get to all of them straight away. So they are going to be spreading this whole time. Which obviously is going to be a bit of a pain, but at the moment, as there's no spreading, it's quite easy to control it because eventually I will win if I just focus on one. There's no problem, there's no bad things that will happen now because it's not going to spread. I just need to make sure I actually put them out. Oh, that guy's like firing up into the space because I can't. Obviously, you need space to be playing with two people. It's very hard to control both at the same time. Oh, that one's still light. Just I will add a little timer or some sort of indicator to show when a fire isn't out yet, because obviously right now it's quite hard to tell when they're like really small like that. That one's still a light, but you can't really see it. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it's come out so far. And then obviously next stage is to add a online version as well. There we go. I've won. And if I random, there we go. It's the same level, but I mean when you restart, it's the same level, but it's random at the top again. So and where the fires are random, so you can't really learn the same sort of strategies over and over. You just gotta play to win, put the fires out as fast as possible. That's pretty much all that they have to do to the game, but I think it's cool and it works really well and smoothly. I think at the moment, obviously when it gets to the online style, it's going to be a bit there's going to be like a possibility for lag and stuff when you're sending over the other person's data and stuff like that, but online on one keyboard it works absolutely beautifully. Which I'm quite happy about, because obviously moving the fire around, the water around, is kind of, well, I guess I could have done it a different way, but thinking about it now, I could have actually done it not using collision at all and just done it based on like another hidden sprite. That would have worked as well, I suppose. But anyway, yeah, I just used collision and it's working nicely, considering it's being changed all the time, because every time you have to move the water, obviously you have to change where the point of contact is onto the fires, because like I say, you don't want to be putting out every single fire underneath, otherwise you could just go like this and then move along like that and every single fire would be put out, which is way too easy. So you have to actually try and focus the end of the fire, the water. Why do I keep calling it the fire? Yeah, just burn everything down. That's cool. Yeah, there we go. Nice and easy. So all I have to do now is add in like some sort of level selector. Add in the end of the fire bit, like I say. I might add in a little bit of spray back at the top of the jet, just so you can easier see where it is. When it gets a bit high like this, it's quite hard to tell exactly which fire you're hitting. If you look at this other one, when you're lower, you can quite easily tell where it is, but once you start stretching it out right up to the top, it's kind of hard to tell exactly where which window you're hitting. So like that, it's not actually hitting the fire anymore. It's actually like down here. But yeah, it's just one of those things you'll get used to as you play. But if I added like an extra animation up there, to add some splashback, like some drips of water coming back off the window, that'll be okay. I think that will help. And winner two. Oh no, got one more here. Winner two. And then you can't do anything until you click to restart. And yeah, that's it for now, but I think I've made a lot of progress today. Considering I had to make all the little sprites, obviously I had to make all the little windows and the doors, because they're all separate, obviously. Like every single one is, each little square is a separate image, and the windows, and then I just put them all on top of each other randomly. Because I thought it would be a bit gay if it's all just one. Actually, let's just restart real quick. I think it would be really gay if it was just like one block. I mean, that can happen if it's because it's random. see like there's only one missing here, but I think that just adds so much extra rather than it just being a complete like block square each time. I think it looks a lot nicer like this. And technically it does give the possibility to add in different images every now and then if I want to. Like I could colour this different, or make this a completely different picture if I really, really wanted to, but I'm probably not going to bother with that. I didn't make the fire truck. The fire truck I just stole from Google. I mean, to be fair, I stole most of it from Google and just sort of traced over the top of it to get the details I wanted. To take out all the other stuff. But it looks really cool. Maybe just add in some skyline at the top so that when you're on the earlier levels you can actually see some sky up here. And that's that. Okay, all done again. And yeah, the smoke and fire is separate as well, but you can't really tell that, but I think that works really nicely.